Hello. So I'm Becky Gamzon. I am a board member of Next Generation Politics. I am a history teacher. I am a mom, but my kids are in college, so I don't have to watch them do their homework right now. And I am really excited to be here because last year I saw a lot of careful thought and a lot of passion to get out there and learn. So I am tasked with getting you to think big, and to do that, we need to focus on the small. And the small, I mean the words, and the words of what I consider our Bible, which is the U.S. Constitution. And the founding documents of the United States are the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. So I'm assuming that most of you know parts of the Constitution. Maybe you know all of it. Hold on one sec. Cool, good. You're getting to where we're gonna go, but just you gotta give me a second here, okay? In school, you probably have studied the Constitution as a way to learn about the structure of government. Maybe you've learned about the separation of powers. Maybe you've learned about federalism. Maybe you've learned about the 3 branches of government. Maybe you've learned about the Bill of Rights. Maybe you've learned about the faults in the Constitution, having to do with slavery, having to do with women, having to do with Native American rights, a lot of mistakes that have been fixed partly by the amendments. All of that is really interesting and has to go into the bucket of American government. This is not an American government class. This is next generation politics. And next generation politics has to do with you, citizens, future citizens, and all of you, when you're 18, will be voting, so future voters. So that is what it's about. So I am doing something a little different. I'm flipping the Constitution on its head in what traditionally American high schools do when they study the Constitution. We are going to look at the Constitution according to you, the citizens or the future citizen, okay? And to do that, you need to think about some things. Okay, we need to think about what is the citizen's relationship to the government? And since the government is set up by the Constitution, we're looking at that. In the Declaration of Independence, it's very, very clear about what the responsibility of a citizen is. And to quote Thomas Jefferson, or sort of paraphrase it, the laws of nature impel the people to act. So it requires, it's an obligation to do something. But it's a little vaguer, and it's sort of hinted at in the Constitution. So where are the assumptions that are embedded in the Constitution about your responsibility to government? Hold on, whoa, don't go ahead, okay? Because you're gonna have time. Let me give you guys one sense here. That one sense is that you are gonna have, I have 10 minutes, and then you're going up into your rooms, and you're gonna work, and you can talk to, you're gonna break up, and you're gonna work on some things. Some of you might know a lot about the Constitution, and I'm hoping that you will use that to do the activities. And some of you might not know anything, and that's okay. That is the purpose of this activity, of this program, really. Okay, so we are going to be studying the words of the Constitution. And one thing I really want to do is just yesterday, or maybe 2 days ago, Justice Anthony Kennedy, who just retired from the Supreme Court, and the Kavanaugh hearings are the result of that, was quoted saying something. He was at some kind of conference. And these are 2 wonderful quotations to really, really help you think about how important what we are doing today is. Perhaps we didn't do a good job of teaching the importance of preserving democracy by an enlightened civic discourse. He also said about the Constitution, the Constitution doesn't belong to a bunch of lawyers and judges. It is yours, and since it is yours, you have to protect it, and you can't protect what you don't understand. So, the purpose of this is to understand it, so then you can act upon it. So, here is the explanation. There are two parts. You're going to be broken up into groups. Sanda's done the grouping. I'm not in charge of that. Just to let you know, the study of civics is the study of the rights and duties of citizenship. So here it is. Here we're studying that. The first activity is incredibly simple, and it's deceptively simple, and that's on purpose, because the purpose is for you to engage in the words of the Constitution. So, what are you going to do? The purpose of this activity is for you to engage with the language of the Constitution and derive meaning from the words. Spend time discussing and debating with your group members. Constitutional scholars devote years to examining a single phrase. You don't need to finish. So what are you going to do? Besides going around the room and introducing yourself and your school, you're going to get a little paper bag. And in the paper bag are, I'm serious, I mean, some of it is deceptively simple. But I can, as lawyers can tell you, they will spend weeks on just one little phrase of the Constitution and its meanings. And then they will debate it. And this is where all of the issues come from. So I have cut up parts of the Constitution. And they are, you will be categorizing, you're going to read them within your group. You need to read each one of them. And then you're going to simply categorize it according to 3 different topics. This is not American government class, and I keep on going back to that. It's about the citizen. So, here you will see this in your rooms. There is, Jeff, come here. Vanna White.
Nobody gets that, do they, in this room?
Oh God. Generate. Okay, there you go. Show yourself off here. Okay, so after you read through all the different excerpts from the Constitution, you are going to debate and probably disagree about where these parts of the Constitution will go. Limited government, separation of powers is one column. Citizen power, and I've done that specifically. And it's not just the Bill of Rights, by the way. There are other parts of the Constitution that have to do with citizens. And the last one is representative democracy. These excerpts can go into several different categories. And the purpose is to discuss. You're going to do that for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to get into the big topic. Let me get down to this. Yeah, it's pretty simple, right? Seems pretty obvious. Pay attention to the teaser, by the way. I'm not going to. Okay, part 2. Part 2. During each of this year's forum, each with a different topic and speaker, voting rights, the election, immigration, you will discover that there are recurring themes and underlying political tensions that emerge. You will need to apply your knowledge of the Constitution to help guide you to your opinions. This is not just out of nowhere. This will help you think about how to ground your argument. The Constitution's preamble hints at these inherent, very American tensions. So, what are you going to do? You're going to read the preamble and which is below, and discuss with your group what the preamble delineates as the federal government's responsibilities, and think about its ambiguities. Use the questions below to help guide your conversation, and if you have time, discuss other discoveries. Okay. Once again, it seems simple. Law schools spend days on this, so don't just say that you know it all. We, the people of the United States, this is the preamble, By the way, who has memorized this or had to memorize it for school or for anything? It used to be a traditional thing, because there are not many hands up here. Some people know it, some people don't. Okay? Fantastic. Okay, there you go. Schoolhouse Rock. That's another way. We the people. Okay, I'm not going to sing. Okay. I should really put up We the People, the Schoolhouse Rock. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Now, you have noticed that I have capitalized the verbs. This is a close reading, and most of you have done this in school. The verbs differ, and that is the tension that you will find in most of our topics moving forward in the next 8 months. So, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be discussing these the different meanings of the verbs and what could that mean. So, what I suggest you do is to make a column, define which are the very defined responsibilities of the federal government and what are the just suggested ones. Because you can't deal with your heart until you have what's out there. And I like to go to the heart first. So then you will be answering these questions in your groups. Now, just a little hint, for the first activity, the first part of this activity, you're going to be groups of 5. And then for this activity, you're going to be groups of 10. So you're just going to come together in 2 different groups. For those who feel a little hesitant about this, because this is demanding, you can listen and then jump in, listen and then jump in. So these questions, you will see, I don't think I need to read them, but most important is this helps set up the conversation, the debate, the problems that we have when it comes to liberal, progressive, libertarian, conservative, I've forgotten something, when it comes to points of view. So, and then we can move from there. Sandra, I don't know how to do this for the next, just showing the groups and different things. So, okay. Now, no.
Name tag. Now is the time that you look down on your name tag. Remember when I told you this morning you had numbers and letters that would make more sense later? Now they'll make sense. So you should have a number. The first number is what group you're in for the first session. So if you are in group 1, 2, 3, or 4, you're going to go back to the room where we spent a lot of time this morning, the Four Freedoms room. And you're going to find, so 1s are going to be sort of in the corner closest to us, further away, 2s behind, 3, 4. You'll find each other. West lobby is where you came in. It's the little room right there. That's groups 4 and 5. 203, 204 is directly above the Four Freedoms room on the 2nd floor. That's groups 7, 8, 9, 10. Once again, sort of the far corner, 7, 8, 9, 10. Groups of 5. The SDR library is also on the 2nd floor. Don't be thrilled, there are 2 libraries. You want the one that's on this side that has more chairs. We'll make sure. The civic mentors will be all around to prompt you. That's groups 11 and 12. And again, for the first part of the activity, you'll just be with your 11s and your 12s, and then for the second, you'll come together in 2 groups. Room 303, 3rd floor, you'll see the sign. Group 13, group 304, group 14. If you forget where these are, there's a big poster right where you signed in this morning, and you can see that there. You can also find a civic mentor who has a list of them. So you're going to be there, and we'll have 20 minutes. We'll tell you when it's time to start moving to the second part of the activity. You'll go to the second part of the activity. After that, at 12:30, you're going to come down to when your letters will come in. We'll talk to you about that there, but all you need to know for now is pay attention to your number. Before you leave this room, make sure you know where you're going, and materials will be up there waiting in the room for you. Have fun and go forth.
Actually, what letter do